On one hand, there's the Bitcoin crowd, who thinks Bitcoin is going a lot higher from here.
You see the price of Bitcoin heading?
Higher. Higher.
How much higher?
A lot higher.
People like Samson Mao are saying the FOMO hasn't even started yet.
I would say retail is still sleeping on this. And anecdotally, most people I know have said, their friends and family are not reaching out to them yet to ask about Bitcoin. So we're not even close to peak retail awareness or retail mania.
And despite all of the evidence to the contrary, there's still people out there that say Bitcoin is speculative.
Okay.
Is Bitcoin a good investment?
No, it's a speculation.
Which one is it? Today we'll look at where we are and look at the camps and try to decide for yourself, which one would you rather be, a bull or a bear? This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Let's go.
My general framework from the highest level is human beings collectively, we own about $900 trillion worth of stuff. That's equities, the things behind us, real estate, precious metals, fine art, all of the things that we own. Half of that we're using as a savings account. We're owning the portfolio of companies or the art or the house to actually try and persist wealth into the future. I think Bitcoin's going after that market. It's going after a market of $400 to $500 trillion worth, and right now it's $2.5 trillion. So I think in purchasing power terms, Bitcoin can go up 100 to 200 times more from here.
Bitcoiners like Jack Mallers are incredibly bullish, and it might be hard to hear that Bitcoin can 100x from here. Numbers like that are just too big and too hard for the human mind to comprehend. It is absorbing $900 trillion worth of assets, but those sorts of numbers are way out there. But it's even hard to hear people like Samson Mao, who thinks that FOMO hasn't even started yet, and people are going to get triggered when Bitcoin hits 200K, a million, chump change.
I think this is not yet the rally. I think they'll start waking up at 0.2 million or 200,000 a coin. I would say retail is still sleeping on this. And anecdotally, most people I know have said, their friends and family are not reaching out to them yet to ask about Bitcoin. So we're not even close to peak retail awareness or retail mania. But, once you cross that next cognitive threshold of 0.2 M, that's when people think, okay, I'm missing out and I need to get this. And that's when they start piling in. We still need to do like a 8x from here to get 1 million. So maybe 2026. But I don't discount the possibility that we can have a very rapid run up in the next 6 months.
It's a hard concept to wrap your mind around, and these numbers are way out there and outlandish. But what are the numbers telling you otherwise? What other data out there is making you positive and bullish? Since 1971, people's purchasing power has been eroded as the prices of assets like homes have far outpaced the amount of income that we have to pay for those homes. Since 1971, not one of 152 countries have kept inflation below 2%. In 1960, housing, healthcare, and education made up 22% of the average person's budget. Today, that number is 37%. To date this year, there have been 806,000 job cuts announced, 62,000 job cuts in July alone, which is nearly triple the average that has been from 2021 to 2024. Payroll numbers keep being revised and cut, showing everybody that the economy is not as strong as they say that it is. And if you did manage to keep a job, well, if you are a low wage earner, well, your wage actually rose the least amount of all of the different segments, actually only 3.7% compared to the national average, while the top percentile got even more rich. It's hard for people out there. So when people are talking about Bitcoin and saying it's speculative flippantly, what else would you be more bullish on? I mean, look at this chart. It is the best risk-adjusted return asset class that you can invest your money in, even better than gold. There's hedge fund managers out there like James Lavish who are shifting all of their focus from gold to Bitcoin and saying that it has an opportunity to overtake gold as the store of value, the dominant store of value globally moving forward.
I want to have assets that will appreciate as the dollar is devalued, as it's debased. So I do own gold, but my focus is truly on Bitcoin, as you know, and that's why I opened the Bitcoin Opportunity Fund. And so all of my excess capital is kind of pointing towards that personally now. So, but I do have nothing against gold, though I do believe that we are seeing the beginnings of Bitcoin demonetizing gold. And, will gold go to zero? Absolutely not. It will, I think it will retain that store of value in the global, universe of investable assets of $900 trillion, gold is about 18 right now, and Bitcoin is about 2. So, but I do believe that Bitcoin is going to catch up to it and be that ultimate store of value for people in the future.
What's not to like? Yet we still have boomers and doomers who have benefited from the existing system, interest rates falling from 17% down to 0%, raising the prices of assets, raising the prices of stocks, and making it more unaffordable for people like you and me that say that Bitcoin is just speculative. You're only buying it because you believe that someone else after you will buy it for more.
Okay.
Is Bitcoin a good investment?
No, it's a speculation.
JL, I love you, man, but you're going to get lit up on the internet. You need to not say this.
Well, I'm sorry, but you asked me the question. I can only give you the answer I have. So let me explain to you what I mean, right? So Bitcoin, as I said earlier, if you bought Bitcoin 10, 15 years ago, it's done magnificently well. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I wish I'd done that. I didn't and still haven't, right? But that's not the question. The question is, where does it go from here? It's at 100,000 or somewhere around.
Right now, we're talking at 100,000. And when I was talking to Du Bois in the group chat, it was at 13,000.
Yeah.
And look at me.
Yeah, but that was then. This is now. So where does it go from now?
Well,
Where does it
now
go
I'm getting
from here?
made fun of, JL, and that's what you're not understanding. And I live with regret, and they're roasting me. And they have laser eyes and like, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You're out here podcasting and doing ad reads when you could have gone all in on Bitcoin and 10x'd it.
Yeah, I think you've confused me with your psychiatrist. I can't help you with the fact you're being made fun of. All I can tell you is that when you look at Bitcoin, it's a speculation. So it's not a currency. It's way too volatile to be a currency. A currency requires stability. Mm-hmm. That's why inflation is such a bad thing, and deflation for that matter. If you can't rely on a currency having a fairly consistent value, it doesn't work as a medium of exchange for goods and services. And maybe crypto will get there at some point, but right now it's not.
Okay.
All right. So let me finish the thought.
Sure.
So it's a speculation in the sense that, like buying gold, like buying exotic cars, collector cars or artwork or anything like that, when you buy crypto, you are saying, I am hoping and expecting that somebody at some point in the future will pay me more for this than I paid for it.
Which side do you agree with? Which side do you want to be on? Is it just hopium with no value that you can do nothing with? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But before we go any further, let's take a second to thank our sponsors. Ledn, the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans since 2018, has issued over $9 billion worth of loans to tens of thousands of customers all across the globe. The process is simple, fast, and transparent, and you can fill out a loan application in less than 2 minutes and be approved without any hits to your credit. And your account is typically funded in less than 24 hours. Go to learn.ledn.io/simply to get started.
You can take 12 words, memorize 12 words, and that's enough, by the way, for a seed phrase. That's enough entropy. Yeah. That's like one atom in the universe, to determine. So just memorize your 12 words. You can go across any border you want. Next thing you know, you're free. You have all your wealth. They can strip search you, anal probe you. They can do whatever the hell they want. But at the end of the day, when you cross that border, even if you're naked, you have all your wealth with you. And you can't do that. There is no other asset on earth that you can do that with.
Couldn't have said it better myself, George. Bitcoin is the only asset that you can cross the border naked with and still have your money on the other side. Might want to get some clothes when you get over to the other side, but still the amount of sovereignty that you're able to have with Bitcoin is unlike any other asset in the history of the world. And you can learn to take full custody and self-custody of your Bitcoin by working with a coach at thebitcoinway.com. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with their team to help you learn how to take control of your private keys, memorize your 12 words, and be fully sovereign over your wealth. Go to thebitcoinway.com/simplybitcoin. There's a flood of new digital dystopia coming out there, like this from Mexico, where they say that you'll need a digital ID and they're making it mandatory. Same kind of news is coming out of the UK with their prime minister saying, this is serious. We need to have digital IDs ASAP. So not only is the average person getting squeezed for their money, for their wealth, they're getting taxed with less benefits coming from governments on the other side, and they're getting their information constricted and infringed upon by the governments that are supposed to be serving us. And then you have this thing called Bitcoin, which actually protects you from this digital dystopia, with cryptography, giving you encryption and the ability to protect your assets, your rights, and your privacy inherently in the protocol itself. And it's also helping you rise out of this malaise that you've been in, with your income not growing as fast as the assets that you live your life on. And this network, Bitcoin, is only getting more powerful as more cyber hornets like you across the globe join in.
You know, Bitcoin's a virus. It's a freedom virus. It's based on a monetary virus that's in turn based on a truth virus. You know, and we think of it as a swarm creature because everywhere in the world, there's someone that's supporting the Bitcoin ecosystem with their electricity, their computer power, their political power, their economic power. And it's about as unstoppable as a swarm of hornets are unstoppable. You can't shoot a bullet through it. You know, it's spreading all throughout the world, and it just keeps getting stronger day by day, week by week, month by month.
Which camp do you want to be in? Bullish or bearish? Is Bitcoin like a life raft, or is it like an anchor taking you to your financial ruin? I know what I think. Get your tickets if you already haven't to come meet the Simply crew down in Dallas, Texas from November 11th through November 13th at the Mining Disrupt Conference. Use the promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off your tickets. You won't want to miss the largest mining expo in the world. It's going to be pretty cool. Hope you got some value out of today's episode. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We're getting close to 100K, and we thank you for all of the people that have been on the journey with us. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Happy stacking.